Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Warframe Wednesdays, the weekly Warframe show where I talk about hot topics in the Warframe community. I'm your host with the most, as always, Francois878. Today's Warframe Wednesdays will focus exclusively on the new primed Warframe that will be released in a week or two. And of course, as you may or may not have already figured out from the Trinity gameplay in the background, it is going to be Trinity Prime, which I'm very excited about. Trinity is the last of the closed beta frames, and quite frankly, I think she deserves to have already gotten primed, but I'll get to that in a few minutes. As far as the teaser trailer goes, it was released, I believe, about a day and a half ago or 2 days ago. It's a pretty normal teaser trailer. Digital Extremes always releases like a 30-second-ish video where they do really close-up visual pieces of the Prime Frame's armor. So you can kind of tell what the frame looks like, but you can't tell exactly what you're looking at. And you only get like snippets of like the shoulder or the leg. And that's mostly enough. Sometimes, depending on how unique the frame is, you can kind of, I remember with Volt Primes, they showed his arm, and he has the golden rings on his arm. I'm like, oh, well, that's, I mean, it's got to be Volt Prime. There's nobody else that it could be. But this time they did the same thing. They did the three real close-up shots of Trinity Prime, but after that, they did a whole, like, shot where you could see all of Trinity, the complete model of Trinity Prime, for just a second. And then they put up their normal little clue at the end. They always kind of, say something to kind of clue us in and, which frame is getting primed. Like for Volt Primes, it was something to do with electricity or speed or something, and with Loki, it had to do with him being a trickster. But with Trinity Prime, I believe the clue was a bastion of hope. But I really liked what they did with Trinity Prime's teaser trailer, giving us the opportunity to see the complete model before it's released. I always kind of thought it was a little silly that we never got to see the complete model in the teaser trailers. I get that it's a teaser trailer, but the way they did it, it was almost not even worth watching the teaser trailer, because you got almost nothing. I think Volt Prime was probably one of the first frames that I could actually tell from the teaser trailer 100%, with 100% certainty that that's who it was going to be. And there were still people who were like, well, those armbands could be somebody else. We're not really 100% sure, so, But Trinity Prime, Trinity deserves to get primed. She's the last of the closed beta frames. She was skipped over in the last kind of round of priming of Warframes for Nova Prime, which I can kind of understand. Nova Prime was a frame that was designed and voted on by the community, by the design council specifically, so I can kind of understand why they would want to prime her first, but also, not priming all of the closed beta frames first kind of irked me a little bit. It was always like, should they have done that? I don't know. I don't work at Digital Extreme, so I guess I don't really, I don't have a whole lot of pull with that. But now, that it's finally happening and we can finally say, all of the closed beta frames are done, my question is where are they going to go from now? How are they going to proceed forward? Are they still going to do, is the next frame going to be in chronological order? Or are they just going to pump them out based on their, when they were released? Or are they just going to mix it up and do it based on fan popularity? A lot of people on Reddit and the forums seem to think that, Valkyr could be next. Or Zephyr even, based on her popularity amongst the fan base. Now, personally, I don't like this. I think that if they do continue, which they have said they will, if Digital Extremes continues to release primed frames after this, personally, I believe that they should be in chronological order as far as, you know, they'll do update 7 frames and then update 8 and 9 and so on, instead of catering to the specific player base's, you know, favorite frames. I think that, you know, doing it chronologically just makes the most sense, and the player base can be a very finicky thing. You know, a frame that everyone likes today could be completely reviled tomorrow. So I think it's really hit or miss with doing stuff as far as you know, letting the player base decide something as important as releasing Prime order. So I think they should just continue with how they're doing it now and just, you know, make it chronological, and that'll be it. But that, before I got kind of caught up in that tangent of you know, what the next Prime could be, just to wrap this up, I am excited to see Trin get primed. I'm excited to get to try her out in a couple of weeks, post 17.5, I believe. But I think that's going to be wrap it up for today's episode, guys. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe, and we will see you all around next time. I've been your host with the most, as always, Francois878, signing off.